All right. So from now, again, I'm repeating this. We will not go for, okay, how many people can I pitch? How many people will be, like, how many more leads can we get? I mean, I can get 5,000 new leads for EST and CST, but we'll not get that just yet. What we will go for is efficiency. Okay. So the goal is not to do cold calls anymore. The goal is to build some sort of, warmth with the prospects in the pipeline who haven't even showed up, so that we have a pool of people to go back to again and again. And it's no more a cold thing for them. So by the time it's like seventh time you're having a conversation and then you are able to get them on a phone call, it's very warm and they already are having a much higher affinity for us to, do business together. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So there's 5 categories. We'll be marking it with tags. There is category E. So E is when someone is having a conversation, like you just had a 2-minute conversation. They haven't given much information to you yet, but they're not rude towards you, right? They're not like absolutely against having a conversation. This is the last pool that we can get anything from, but still it's something that we can go back to instead of doing new cold calls. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. So when you have
Could you
these,
repeat that part, the last part? What can we do instead of cold calls?
yeah, so I'm saying that is if we have these type of conversations, most of conversations will be like this, where they're not interested, they are not willing to share everything. They're like, I'm all set, I'm all good. Like, you're not able to get them to anywhere, even you
Yep.
just because it's a cold conversation, they're not willing to have it, right? So when we have that we term that as category E, right? We'll add a tag, category E, so that when we are out of like, what do you say? We are out of leads, or you have dialed a lot of people. Now in category E, there's like 150 people for you specifically, Nikhil, let's say. So instead of you doing more calls, right? You can just keep calling the category E again and again and say, hey, this is Nikhil. Do you remember last time we spoke and you were not willing to have a conversation because it was a cold call or something? This is the 4th time I'm calling, so probably it's not a cold call anymore. What do you say? That's how you can warm the conversation up. So this is category E. Category D is you have a 4 to 5 minute conversation, in-depth analysis. You ask about their problems, they share more, and then they are like, you know what, I don't need it. Sometimes that happens, right? That's when we say, so we get some sort of information about them, but we don't get the interest. That is category D. And then there is category C, which is 4 to 5 minute conversation, similarly, but they have interest, but they don't want to book a meeting just yet. Send me more info. Like they are just stuck on that. We send an email. That's category C. B is interest and meeting is booked, but it is a no-show. And of course, A is when they show up to the intro call.
Yeah.
So what I have seen is if you go for 30, 15, and 10, when you go for 30 people in 4 to 5, like category D, that is like information collected but no interest, then you can get 5 people in category B, that is interest and possible meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So what happens is, like, let's say we have meetings, let's say 2 meetings booked today. But by the time you book 2 meetings, you will have at least 7 more conversations that is possibly in C and D.
Yeah.
Right. So the next day you start with those 7 people. Start with those 7 people. And then like do this 10 days, then you will have a pool of 100 people that's warm enough now. Right. So you don't need to go for more. We'll just make a power dialer for those 150, 200 that you've already spoken with, and you have notes specifically to their situation, and then you take the conversation forward accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense? And then you can also use those questions like, what's your favorite pizza topping, but make your own thing. As in, I would ask, I'm more like traveling. So like, hey, what's your favorite travel destination? Right. So, but make your own thing. If pizza topping goes well for you, just go with that. Have something to connect the dots to.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it. And if someone is like in category D, where they're not sharing email, if they're not interested to do this, we will just try to get the email so that we can have email follow-ups as well.
Yeah.
So far, is it clear?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So A, B, C, D, E. E is the last. When it's a bad day, we don't have anything in the pipeline. That's when we go and target E.
Okay.
That's it. That's what we'll be going forward with.